that's scary. Yeah, that's scary.
Top 5 dead alive, only came to terrify. Every topic scary, we could lead the bravest paralyzed. Hope you're not at home alone, better keep the lights on. But if you love adrenaline, then welcome to the fright zone. Willie is the leader, the visionary dreamer. Gerard got the joke, scaredy cat the screamer. You gon' get this work, if you scared, go to church. This podcast is scariest, you heard it here first.
And he said that to me because I was like, I'm just excited that Jeepers Creepers is here. You know, I want to see the character again. But when because he's a huge lover of Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary.
Hey, we out here, y'all. What's up, guys? Welcome to Yep, That's Scary, your Halloween horror and haunted house podcast. I'm your host, Willie May, and we got a good show for you today. Let me tell you, we got the old school with the new school holding it down here at Yep, That's Scary. And let me just say this, a haunter's life can be full of unexpected obstacles as you create fear for your haunted attraction. But these two Let's Get Her Done duos, aka haunted attraction builders and operators, some of whom have over 30 years of experience and have worked with several of the industry's top venues, Terrorizing Cornfields, as they documented on YouTube, home to Terror in the Core, located in Erie, Colorado, top haunted attraction in the country. This web series aims to entertain and enlighten, teach, and have the viewers ask how we have put up with each other, which is Bart Butler and Michael Edwards. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring in my co-host and let's get this party started. Here is Gerard. What's up, man?
So you wrote the script. How many tongue ties you going to put in there?
I don't know. Listen, it was a long morning. It was a long late night, and I was like, we're just going to just make this work. But I'm just excited.
Actually,
what?
That's what we need to discuss about.
What?
Why don't we do the show at like noon? Like, come on! I worked third shift. I was just going to bed like 6 hours ago.
First of all, please don't talk to. Hey, I'm in a show right now. Yeah, and everyone hears you. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yep, that's
How's
scary.
Everyone doing?
Everyone's doing good. You just stopped the show. Thank you.
All right, that's what I do. I stop shows. So.
Yeah, showstopper.
Right. Well, have a good show. I'll get up with you later.
All right, later. Everyone's just checking in, just saying hi, good morning to everybody. But yeah, they forget that we have a show. But anyways, listen. So what was this question? What are you trying to say right now?
It's like every time I do the show and I work that night, like tonight I go to work, I'm always like, man, why do we do the show so early? I'm still knocking the crusties off my eyes.
I bet. Because I had to wake you up today. I was like, good morning. Why aren't we in the studio? You're like, oh, hold on. And you literally rolled out of bed. You didn't fall off bed, but you rolled.
Look, this is a long week. This is a very busy week for me. Like just in this week alone, I've had like 2 birthday parties that I agreed to. I was like, yeah, I'll go.
Why? And then, people over there?
Yeah. and then I had to and then I was sitting there like do that, and then like this week I have to fly out to a funeral. Yes. As well as the same time when I fly out for the funeral, I got to stay an extra day because somebody just had a baby. So now I'm like, while I'm there, I would just go say hi to the baby.
I know who's having the baby. No.
Yeah, I'll send. I private message you.
Okay. So if you're watching, we just want to say what's up to everybody at home watching us. What's up, Bali Zombie holding it down. What's up, Ryan? It's good. Hi, Sally. It's good to see you guys. We got a fun show today. It's gonna be great. If you guys are tuning in, we are making sure that your show and if you listening, that it's gonna be a great one because we have some cool guys that have taught me and inspired me about hunting, being a hunter and true hunter, and what is the true statement of life and Hunter's life. And they are here today. We got Bart Butler and we got Michael Edwards in the building holding it down. I'm so excited for this show. Listen, I literally, Gerard, when we were talking about the podcast, I was like, like, who are we going to have on the show? And they crossed my mind so many times, and I was really not afraid to ask them, but I just know, everyone gets busy, but for our second season, I'm so glad that I hollered at Bart. Bart was like, "Yeah, okay," and I don't know if they were like, "Okay, sure," like, "What's up?" Like, "What do you want from me?" But I was like, "Dude, like, you're gonna be on the show, and we're gonna talk it out." So I'm so.
I think the last time I actually got to work with Bart was like it's probably getting close to 4 or 5 years now. But I think one of the last things we discussed, he like, without saying it, but said it, he called me a bitch. I mean, like, we might need to discuss this.
Listen, shots fired. But yeah, because you are. I mean, we already discussed this last week, so we're good. But listen,
I still remember it. We were talking inside that escape game. I still remember. I broke the set. I tore down the set off the wall by accident.
Why would you? Now, first of all, even as a owner, like, you can't just. Why would you destroy a set? You would just.
No, it's not like I did it on purpose. He's like, "Hey, first off," they said, I show up. Like, what am I supposed to do? They're like, "You got to crawl around like a zombie." I was like, "Okay, I guess I can do that." And like, "Yeah, you got to take your glasses off too." I'm like, "Well, I'm blind." Then I took the glasses off.
No. Let's be real. Because if we're talking about the same haunted attraction that you were at and Bart was at, I came in right after Bart.
No, it was the escape room.
Okay, never mind.
Not at the attraction. They put me at the escape room at this.
Listen, why would you tear up a set at an escape room? Like, what's wrong? Oh my God.
He's like, I think it was like the chain was hooked onto something. He's like, "Yeah, pull on the chain. Act like you can't get loose." And I think the chain got wrapped around, or I pulled the chain out the wall. I'm like, "Who the fuck have you been hiring? 12-year-old girls?" Like, I just.
Wow. Well, we got a show for today. We're going to talk about some current events, what's going on, because I'm just so excited that we got our guests in the building, and we're gonna have a good fun show for everyone. So let's talk about our current events because we got some stuff happening. Tis the season to be scary, and let me just say this. I like that. Tis the season to be scary because this from May. What I'm trying to say, from May to like June, even though we are busy getting our haunts together, it is still a busy season because we got so much going on. But right now, it is halfway to Halloween, and we want to say here at Yep That's Scary, halfway to Halloween. All right, so let's talk about some current events because this segment, I literally was like, you know what? There's so much going on. Everyone's asking for us to be there, which is really cool. But money's tight, and we need to get some sponsors. and that's a focus of ours because I got some webinars I got to be at. I got some people that want to talk to us. It's just finding the time to do it. Like, I have a whole list of new, guests coming in, celebrities now, which I'm so excited for. Blumhouse people are coming in, and I'm like, and I still haven't sent them links. Like, I think I sent Bart Butler and Michael their link to their show like this morning. But we out here, guys. What's going on in our curse event? What we got going on? We got the Carolina Fear Festival happening right now, actually, which they asked us to come and last minute, and I was like, I don't want to. We can't because
Why are we getting invites? Because how many times do you like hit me up? Hey, we got invited to so and so. I'm like, dude, that's in like 36 hours. How the fuck you expect me to get there?
people find out, and not only that, but like I network, and then they're like, "Oh, are you going to?" No, I'm not. Well, we need to, and I want to. But this one I was supposed to be at the Texas Frightmare, which I believe Bart Butler has been there with some of his characters. But like Texas Frightmare is happening this weekend as well. We have people in our industry that is there, and they're holding it down, representing with their great products and their great, great things. And you had that background Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but I was supposed to meet with Killer Clowns there, and it's kind of I'm kind of a little bit bummed because well, I'm not there, but and then also
Talking about Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I need to. I can't say it on the air, but I've got to tell you something that came up last night. I have to tell you about this. This just reminded me. That's inappropriate for the show. I understand where the line is, and I have to tell you about it later.
Yep, moving on. So, but yes, but Killer Clowns from Outer Space will be on our show. They will be on our show. Actually, the whole Mother Scorpions team will be on our show. We're trying to do this like a show takeover, and they're going to be one of the thoughts of taking over. Yep, the Scary, along with Blood and Honey. But yeah, it's going to be great. I'm just throwing out things and surprising people. But yes, get ready because it's going to happen. All right, we got Monsterpalooza is happening in June 2nd through the 4th, and we're supposed to be here. And I was like, "There's no way. There's no way. There's no way, dude." Listen,
there's not enough. There's not enough room for all these events. We just need one.
Listen, let me take that back because the person that messaged me, I'm just going to send them the flyer and just going to be like, "We need to be here." You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Inside joke, but listen, we got to be there because they asked, "Are we going to be there?" And yeah, so I'm going to send that to that person for sure. Okay, next, because I shouldn't say no, we can't be there. I should say yes, we're going to try to make it and put out positive thoughts in the atmosphere so we can manifest some scary because 'tis the season. All right.
We shall make our gravest attempt in order to perceive your attraction.
That's what we're talking about here. And then we got Midsummer Screams happening, the Halloween festival happening July 28th through the 30th at Long Beach Convention Center. That is a great show. They have some great people that's going to be in attendance there, and we're supposed to be there too.
There's like 14 events always in California for Halloween. I love it.
I'm trying to tell you, what y'all don't understand is, hey, Nicole, how are you? Thank you for joining our show. We got a good show for you today. But yes, what you guys don't understand is, listen, California was the catalyst to make haunted houses like cool. Yes, we know the JCs was killing it across America, but what happened was Not Scary Farm made it really, really, really cool, that party scene, and they kind of created that California. They kind of taught us the market. I keep talking about it, but I'm going to keep blabbing my gums about it because let me tell you this: the culture there in California is so rich in Halloween horror and haunted house that I love it and I miss it. You know what I'm trying to say? But we're about to change it over here in Georgia. We're gonna see what we got going on. What else we got happening here? We got the Georgia. Oh, speaking of Georgia, we got the Georgia Pop and HorrorCon happening August 4th and 6th. Look, if we're not mentioning you during the show, HorrorCons, please don't get mad. We will. It's just we want to have notable mentions for these shows because we're supposed to be here. So we're gonna try to be at this way.
Hey, that's right. It's right in your area. It's Georgia.
Right in my area. I'm thinking about volunteering because money is tight. Okay, horror writers unite. Pencils down, chainsaws up, calling all writers and industry personnel for the marvelous McKay ticket at Warner Brothers. We're May 31st, which is happening coming up soon, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to be at Warner Brothers. And if you guys want to know what Warner Brothers Studios is located, there it is. I mean, you can always Google and find it, but there it is for the ones that are struggling actors that want to just see somebody. I remember when I was at the Warner Brothers Studios, man, I had a great time. I was shooting a TV show, and that's where I met Adam Sandler. I met Adam Sandler at Sony Studios. Warner Brothers. I forget where I met who I met there, but anyways, I love pulling into these studios and having a good time because like when you're a featured actor and you got a little dressing room on that TV show, and you like go to the next studio and you see who's shooting and where, and you just run amok. Like I'd be running amok when I would be doing these TV shows, and I remember Tracy Morgan. It was a Tracy Morgan show. I was in one show. I think it was Malcolm in the Middle, and I was doing a show, and I ran into Tracy Morgan show down the way, and they had Snoop Dogg, they had Heavy D, they had that was the cast. And I remember like in my little go kart, just like whoa, and I had my little friends, and they were like my friends were like starstruck, and I was like, listen, I snuck you guys into the studio, stay in my dressing room, don't go out. Well, when we drove by, we smelled some weed, and we like, ah! And there was Snoop Dogg, Heavy D, Tracy Morgan, like they like had like a little picnic, block party picnic at the studio, barbecuing, like having a good time. I'm like, woo, like all the culture was there. I was like, yeah. So I was like, let me hurry up and just leave. And my friends was like, that's where we want to go. It's like, no, stay in the studio. So I went back to
Who
work.
gave you a golf cart?
No one did. I think we just took it. It was look, I was young, no one could tell me no, and no one could tell me no. Okay. And so let me just say this. I went and make a long story short, I think they left and to go talk to them. The security found them and they got kicked out. So they went to Universal Studios. And they came back to pick me up. So, anyways, we had some good times. We have some good times. But, anyways, we got a good show for you guys today. We're going to start our horror news in a minute. Are you ready, Gerard? Because I got some news for you. And let me tell you, I did not read the script today. So, if there's some tongue ties, I do apologize. But I'm going to go back to my idea with our sponsor, our soon-to-be sponsor. So if we mess up, we do the thing for the thing. Yeah, I'm going to go back to that because that's going to be a great challenge. I don't want to say their name yet until they sign contracts about sponsoring. But anyways, this is horror news in a minute, guys, where we dish out all the 401 and the news about what's happening in our industry. But this is right now just all horror. We're not talking about anything haunted news because we did that already. I mean, we could talk about that. Right? I don't know. Let's just run it. Here we go.
I'm just with you.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so in horror news, we got this happening. Let me scroll down to my news. John Wick 4 was a complete blast, and the ending point at the odd fact that John Wick might have actually be dead. I didn't believe it for a second. Not John Wick. No, not him. The dude is a tank. Lionsgate has already greenlit development for a John Wick 5. You hear it here, guys. John Wick 5 is being greenlit by Lionsgate. That isn't all the studio has in store, though. It is also appears that we will be receiving a big triple A game based on Baba Yaga. So there's going to be a John Wick game coming out, you guys. Isn't that crazy? I love John Wick. I had a little John Wick for a moment for hot news in a minute. But anyways, let's go on to this. Prop store auction is gearing up for some very, 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 very rad items to auction off. These are dreamed props, if you ask me. For one, we have Jason Voorhees mask from Friday the 13th. Okay, the New Blood. Excuse me. That is a monumental piece. Yes. Then we have an incredible mold of Norris from The Thing, with the entire spider head. I want both of those. I'm crying just imagining adding this thing to my freaking collection, which I'm trying to start this collection here. Um, all that, all that, all that, and there is still more. The evil clown doll from Poltergeist is also available to make sure that nobody ever sleeps again in your household. This is cool, and I really, really, really want the doll. I really, really, really want this doll. I can even take the one from Scary Movie. I'll take both, but I want this doll. All right, this is really cool for the gamers out there. We have Sega Genesis Ghostbusters game was complete blast, and with the recent updates, patching in Winston and a few other characters was a much needed update. The underrated game has recently seen an explosion in popularity thanks to those updates. Gamers are checking the full game out, and let me just say this: they have released some Sega Genesis game cartridges covered with glow in the dark slime. Do you guys think this is pretty cool? I think so. What do you think, Gerard?
I can't. Does it work? Do they release a Sega Genesis card I can plug into a Sega and it works? Or is it like a prop?
I don't know. I think it works. I mean, because why are they selling it? This is your hot advisory report. I ain't afraid of
That's
this.
crazy.
So I went to my local Home Depot to find my 12-foot skeleton because I wanted to get a start on it before anyone else gets a 12-foot skeleton and it'll be sold out. And to my surprise, I couldn't find a 12-foot skeleton. So I decided to go to a rep at Home Depot to figure out why can I not find my skeletons. Where are you, skeleton? So I went to a Home Depot rep, this guy, and I asked him, where's the 12-foot skeletons? And he said,
If you're buying a 12 feet, or is it 12 feet, right?
yes, 12 foot. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. You know your product.
12 foot of skeleton from Home Depot. Bring a truck, because it's going to be a big box.
The duh.
Order online.
It's pre-sale only. You gotta order online. Well, this is Willie May at Home Depot with your haunt advisory report. We ain't afraid of no ghosts. Back to you, Gerard.
It's a 12-foot skeleton.
First of all, don't even get me started because when he first said it, I was like, "What are you talking about? You nasty."
Now, here's the question. Here's the questions that I've been burning to ask you.
What? Go for
First off, did you watch From?
it. Okay. No, not yet. You know why? Because I did. Because I was watching this other movie or this other series, and I don't want to say it because people gonna be like, "No, that's whack." Like you're a horror guy.
I told you stop watching Real House of Atlanta.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, that's a keeper. But I watched the Claim to Fame with the Jonah Brothers. It was pretty good. But I'm done now, so now I can start watching. Everyone's like,
No, I'm telling you.
Anymore, Will.
I'm telling you this right now. You got to watch From. I found it a couple days ago, and I watched the entire series in one night.
Yes.
I love it. I'm literally waiting to get MGM Plus because they have you. Season 2 is like 5 episodes in, but it's on MGM Plus. So I'm gonna get MGM Plus and we'll do that free trial for when the whole season's out.
You gotta do the free trial. You have to do this free trial. But yeah,
because I want to see how I want to see how it goes. So I'm excited to see that. And then God, I did a lot of horror this week. Like I watched that. I watched Hereditary the other night. Have you seen Hereditary?
Dude. Okay, yes. Hereditary. Yes, that's the old one. I thought you were going to talk about. I thought you were going to mention The Inhabitant. The Inhabitant, the Lizzie Borden one. That one I just watched, and we have the writer coming on. We have the writer coming on to the show. I'm trying to tell you guys got to keep on watching Yep, That's Scary. We got some good guests coming in, and they're going to give you. There's going to be some good takeaways from watching Yep, That's Scary because they got some good insight. I went ahead and called my girl, Mrs. Spence from Blumhouse, and we're going to talk about set dressing. And she's the winner of movie Shazam. She's the set dresser for Shazam, Insidious. So So
Damn.
we got some good ping-pong comedy on this show. It's gonna be good. But yes, no, I'm gonna watch From. I'm gonna watch that.
I'm calling it now. Me personally, I liked it better than Stranger Things.
Okay, but there is a new show coming out that's kind of like Supernatural. By the way, there's talk about Supernatural coming back. But anyways, there's a new series that's come on Amazon Prime, and I'm trying to remember the name. But it's all about creatures and stuff. It's called it starts with a G. But anyways, if you guys know, let me know in the comments. But anyways,
it's about creatures.
Creatures, yes.
I guarantee that's From.
No,
That's what From.
It didn't say From. It said something with a G. What are you talking about? I know how to read. Unlike some people. Thank you guys. Unlike some people, I know how to read.
Hey, that high school in the trailer park did a good job on these.
All right. Anyways, I met this beautiful lady and Bora, and she's so cool, and she's gonna be on our show too.
You're watching? Yup, that's scary.
So good. I love her. I want her. Like I was like, what haunt are you at? Like, where do you haunt at? Because I would love to like just have you be at this one creation, this haunt that I'm creating. Because the icon is a witch, and she would be perfect for it. So perfect for it. But anyways, let's move on. What else you want to tell me real quick before we bring on our guests?
There's some more movies I've watched recently, but it's gonna give me shit because a lot of them have been older. I did watch The Evil Dead. I'm catching up, slowly but surely.
Evil Dead. Okay, wait, all the Evil Deads, the franchise, the whole entire franchise.
No, I haven't done the whole franchise yet. I'm planning on doing that.
I was gonna say, did you get to the where the tree rapes the girl?
I know. I've already seen that one. I've seen the first one. But
because
no,
I was a kid watching that. I was like, "What's going on with the branches?"
I just watched I watched it the other night. It was Magnificent, Maleficent.
Oh man, you're watching all the old like this. I mean, the good ones, but yeah, they're good. But yeah, I've seen all those.
It's when the girl's having these visions of this like cancerous stepbrother or some shit like that.
Yeah. I don't know what's this next clip, but I'm gonna hit it. No, I'm not gonna hit it because we're gonna hit this one. Let's play you ready to play this? Okay, so you guys, we're gonna play before we start. We're gonna play this game because we haven't played it in a while. Someone asked, "Why did this haven't happened in a while?" And so we're gonna play it. And I wish that we was playing this with our guest, but this wasn't planned, so this is last minute. But just for our viewers out here, this is Y'all. I'm Dead. Let's do it.
Yo, I'm dead.
This is Y'all, I'm Dead, where the host actually we get to try to make each other laugh. So Gerard found his 3 memes. I found my 3 memes. We don't know their memes. We haven't seen them before, so we're gonna actually try to act it out and try to make each other laugh. Here is Y'all, I'm Dead. Let's do it. All right, go ahead.
I gave you these so long ago. Y'all, I'm dead. Moms be like, he's such a good boy.
Now my mama, she'll have a belt in a minute. All right, Y'all, I'm dead. Let me see you raise hand. Who loves their mom? Happy Mother's Day.
No. Yeah, I'm dead. Mom, cover your eyes. They're showing boobs on this part of the movie.
You hope me. That was me. During all the horror sex scenes, I'll be like this. All right. Y'all, I'm dead. Barbarian. The Bob's Burgers. Barbarian.
That grosses me out.
Look at that titty. Oh, look at what's her name in the background. All right. Go.
Y'all, I'm dead. Me leading the other actors to the concession stand an hour after opening.
We are hungry. We hungry. Listen, that is so true. And if I catch an actor going to the concession stand an hour before we open, I'm literally going to listen.
No, it's an hour after we open.
Yeah, hour after we open, so that at 8 o'clock they're making their way down there. You're like, whoa, where you going to eat? What do you mean? No, you're supposed to. So
looking like a sweaty ass raccoon over there with the eyes blacked out, just sweating.
Muskrat hungry. I'm like, listen, I'm not your mama and your daddy. You better come. No, now we kind of feed them and give them snacks. I give them snacks and some crackers and some cough drops and call it a day. All right, let's go. What else we have? Y'all, I'm dead. Here's Johnny. I'm so sorry. I'm dead. Let's get started. All right, let's bring in our guest. Because don't say I'm tired. I've been up all morning. You the one who
that you're fired.
Oh, am I fired? All right, let's do it. All right, so I'm gonna read both their bios because we got some amazing guests today. And I'm going to try not to fan out, but I'm going to read. Bart Butler has been working in the industry for over 30 years. He has lent his talents to haunted. I'm sorry, I didn't. We're not pros. Haunted Verdun Manor. Now it's Thrillovania. I can't read today. I'm so sorry. The haunted house, dark hour, Miller's thrillers, and haunted schoolhouse and laboratory, and is now the show director at Terror in the Corn in Colorado. Bart is also co-owner of Brainchild, which is one of the best costume companies out there, creating costumes and masks for over 10 years. With what little spare time he has, you can find him in the Rocky Mountains. And yes, I've seen literally pictures of him just sitting in the mountains. I'm like, is he with some goats? Man, I don't know. We have Michael Edwards, has worked in the haunted industry for more than 30 years. He has managed, act, and built sets in Haunted Verdun Manor, now Thrillvania, Scream Haunted Theme Park. I cannot. The Haunted House, Dark Hour, the Dance Haunted House. In 2018, he acted a full-time position in Terror in the Corn, located at Anderson Farms, right in Erie, Colorado. You guys, one of the largest aggravated. He had to put this big word in here, and I cannot read today, guys. It's not the day.
Well, they do scary stuff. Lots and lots of scary stuff.
But listen, they call it something different. They call it aggravainment. Willie, get yourself together. You are a college graduate in Colorado. He enjoys every opportunity to train actors and share his knowledge with others. Michael is also currently a proud board member of the Haunted Attraction Association. Come on, hold it down. Hold it down. Let's go. And this is, you guys, we want to talk about two things with them. And one of the things I'm a big fan of, and it is the A Haunter's Life. I kind of cracked up. See, I'm getting emotional already because they're coming on. But Haunter's Life is a haunted attraction builders and operators. Some of that are 30 years of experience, worked in several of the industry's top venues. Are currently home in is Terror in the Corn, located in Erie, Colorado. Over a mile long, Terror in the Corn has been rated as one of the top haunted attractions in the country. This web series aims to entertain, enlighten, teach, and have viewers asking how can they put up with each other. They are great mentors from afar from me because I watch their shows and I just enjoy them. But you guys, here is A Haunter's Life.
Its intensity may be more than some wish to be exposed to, and those people should be forewarned.
what's up, guys? So I do want to apologize. I did not mean to like get my eyes crossed and all that stuff during reading your bios, but let me tell you, I am still excited to have you guys here. You
Thank
guys,
you for having us.
it is a Hunter's Life. Bart Butler and Michael Edwards. How's it going, you guys?
Doing good. Doing good. Yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you.
It's not raining, so that's really good right now.
Amen. Because I know you guys work in on a farm. This is a live farm with rough terrain, and so when it's muddy, what is it like? Just a mess.
Well, I mean, we're used to the snow and mud. It's just it has been excessively raining this last May, which it caused a flood in the haunt. Took away a lot of our topsoil off there. We thought it actually messed up the corn, but it actually didn't. So that was a good thing, because they were going to have to replant all the corn and all that. So
right.
Yeah.
I mean, tearing the corn without the corn. I mean, that's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, it's actually the corn for tearing the corn is only like I would say a sixth of the haunt. So the corn's not that big of a deal.
Yes.
Not used to. Way back when it was 2001, it was just all the corn maze, and then after years and years and years, it became a ghost town, and then now it's mainly a ghost town with a little bit of corn. So it's like Terra beyond the corn.
Oh,
They're next to the corn.
Terra next to the corn.
next to the corn.
So thank God the rain didn't flush it all out, or it would have been tearing the soybean field or something like that.
Yeah.
So we have this word, and I've seen it before. It's called argument.
Aggritainment.
Aggritainment.
Thank
Aggritainment.
you. So this is what farm life meets entertainment. Is this what you're trying to do? Is this a new movement here?
Well, I don't know if it's a new movement. Actually, when I first moved here, that was the first time I'd ever heard the term, because they told me, yes, we're the biggest aggritainment venue in Colorado. I'm like, great. Aggritainment is just, it's places that have, large, fall festivals where they have pumpkin patches, things like that. We just happen to have a haunt on ours as well. But really, aggritainment is there's fields and farm, and so it's, aggritainment.
Like
that's the best way
we
to
have
explain it.
Transworld, right? They have NAFTMA. So it's a whole other thing. I mean,
It's a whole agricultural thing.
Yeah.
So it ties into it. So where the haunt isn't necessarily primarily aggritainment, the farm as a whole is.
Yeah. Well, let me just say this. I've been following you guys for a minute now. Alan House was on the show, and I told him, I was like, dude, I was like a big fan, And even though I've been in the industry for a very long time, just behind the scenes, whatever, there have been key players that I've watched and followed. Hence YouTube. You guys made haunt vlogging so popular that you see the trend now still, Yeah, you did. You still see the haunt trend set. Like, listen, I started Scream Team vlogging when I went to Transworld because of you guys. Like, you guys were like the brainchild, no pun intended, with your costume, but like of vlogging and making it cool for haunts. I mean, I believe like Bloodshed Brothers got their inspiration from you guys.
Oh wow! Okay.
Wow.
I'm not speaking for them, but I know you came first. So,
Well, I mean, how it all started is that when we would get together with other haunters, which is huge in the DFW Metroplex, we always had stories, and everybody would be very entertained about our stories. So we kind of came up with, let's just start videoing us just working,
Doing stupid stuff.
Now, of course, it ended up being the Carol Burnett show the first season instead of actually doing stuff. But after I think the first season, we started actually doing stuff and teaching, and really, I mean, all the stupid stuff you see is normally what we do. It's not scripted whatsoever like it was the first season. But no, all the razzing, all the fun stuff is that's normal working with us. So yeah.
Are you cutting around all the OSHA violations that happen to build a haunt? Like, don't build that. OSHA come lock us.
Well, yeah. If you notice in the last couple episodes, Dylan likes to say, "Yeah, this is OSHA approved."
well, I mean, you fix it in post, right? You just edit it out. So who was
no? In there.
Who was the one? Like, I mean, it's so funny. So, well, before I start asking questions about the show, can you tell your little bit background on how you guys got started in the industry for our viewers that don't know you?
Um, I got started by I've always been into horror. I've always been into haunted houses. Went to JC's a lot when I was a kid. To be honest, I wouldn't be if I didn't have an injury that I had on my ankle when I was a teenager. I would not be where I'm at right now. That's a totally different lifestyle. But when I turned 18 or something like that, my parents were freaked out. I had a cough in my room. They were like, "What is going on with our child?" I was an artist, so I drew a lot, and always my, of course, the art teacher would like, tell my parents if he would just draw something nice, I could enter it into contest. But so going to that, one night my friend came up to me and he's like, "Hey, me and my girlfriend are going to a haunted house. You want to go?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's go." So we went to Haunted Verdun Manor out in Forney, Texas, and shockingly, it was a year or two after he had left. 2 years after he left. But anyways, I got there and we went through. The girlfriend hyperventilated up in the baby werewolf room. They exited. They were like, "You coming?" "Nope, I'll see you at the exit." I was going to keep going in. I was waiting on another group, and while I was waiting, I was talking to a full werewolf, just going, how do I work here? How do I do this? This is awesome. I have never seen anything like it. And so he told me as soon as I get out of the haunted house, go around back, talk to Lance Pope. Went around back, talked to Lance Pope, started working the next night. From then on, It has just been, how can I do this for the rest of my life? So that's pretty much the way I got started.
Love it. All right, Michael, what about you?
Grew up watching Dark Shadows with my parents, so of course I always liked really scary stuff because I'm incredibly old, so I knew Dark Shadows back when it first aired. And I did a haunt in my house when I was 7 years old, which was really stupid because I just hung up sheets and put lights, and I had a little chord organ, and I'm going, it was really stupid. But
it was cool. It was cool.
And then didn't really do anything until high school because I was in theater, which he makes fun of all the time. But we started working with the March of Dimes, and so we worked with the March of Dimes 2 years doing haunted houses for them. And I had no experience. I had no idea what I was doing, so I just kind of figured it out. And then in '89, after I'd moved to the Dallas area, I had met Lance Pope accidentally, who owned Verdun Manor. I met him at a Forum 303 mall. There was some little comic convention going on or something. I just happened to show up and met him, talked to him, and was a cool guy, and said, "Hey, do you ever have anybody come out and help on the weekends or anything like that?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, all the time," because people would always offer to do that and then either not show up or find out how much work it was and never show up again. And so I went out there one time and just worked my butt off. He had me doing a bunch of stupid stuff. And I came back and he was like, "Wow, you came back." And so after a couple of months, I quit my job. He bought a trailer. I moved out there. And so that was my first full-time job as a haunter, making $65 a week. But I had a place to live, and he bought all the food and everything else. And so it was, kind of a cool experience. And of course, Lance was, a mentor to all of us. And, unfortunately, he passed away in 2002. And, but he's still one of the, greatest haunters as far as I'm concerned. And he taught us everything to do and taught us everything not to do. So we watched him closely. But that's kind of how I got my start, and then just kind of gravitated from haunt to haunt. And yeah.
And so you guys connected at Lance's haunt, right?
Yeah, in 2000. Yeah.
Because I had moved away. I had gone to work for Screams for a while, and I wasn't living that close to Verdun. And which, oddly enough, this is how much haunting has had an effect on my life, was at Screams is where I met my wife. And of course, now we just, we've been together 27 years. We just celebrated our 25th anniversary. She has put up with me. Yeah, she has put up with me through all of this. She's been in the haunt industry working, for Dark Hour and working with Alan Hops. And so, I mean, she's done a lot in the industry too. But, that's...
Wait. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'll have to cut you off. So, wifey is not working with Terror in the Corners. She's working with Alan.
She did. When we moved here, she came here and worked with Anderson Farms and Terror for a while. But she ended up leaving from here and kind of going back into the a little bit into the corporate world. And because I mean, she's an amazing executive assistant. Oh my gosh, she's insanely good. I mean, we hated her leaving because she kept all of our stuff in order. So we're like, crap, what do we do now? But now she's working for this awesome author that does work in the corporate world, kind of working with conflict resolution and everything. And this woman has been so awesome to her, and she's loving the work. And anyway, that's just how haunting has affected me. But anyway, we moved back to an area where I was about 20 minutes from Verdun and wasn't really doing anything. And for about a year, I didn't do any haunting. And I mentioned to Sally, my wife, I said, hey, we should, go see Lance. And I'm like, I wonder if he'd let me come work with him again. I mean, that'd be really cool. She goes, well, you should ask him. So we drove over because it was like 15 minutes from the house. We walked in. Lance came up and gave me a big hug and said, so you going to come work for me again? Yes, absolutely. And that's when I met him, because he had been working there at that point for like 3 or 4 years.
This is 92.
Oh, for 92. Okay, so that's almost 8 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And so that's how we connected, and then we've been just working together.
Well, again, we all left haunting in 2004. Unfortunately, basically we look at it as if we're not having fun, why do it?
That's right. Yeah.
So it got to a point where we weren't having fun. There was a bunch of us that just weren't having fun. Lance passed away. There was just a lot of drama going on, and of course that's our place to escape life. Is the way we see it. And so with Lance passing away, and then there's so much drama going on that we left in 2004 and just went work. I think you retired.
I retired. Yeah. I had a brand new baby girl. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go be a normal person now and enjoy life with my wife and my new baby girl. And I was done. I was not doing anything else in the haunt industry anymore. I was done. I was retired.
So meanwhile, I was working with just guest acting here and there and trying to figure out how to own my own haunt. Yeah. I've been doing that since I was 20, trying to figure out how I can own my own haunt, how I can do this for a living. So in 2007, I started up the haunt house and called him up and was like, hey, I'm right down the road from you. Come on out.
No. He said, you want to come work at the haunt with me? I'm like, no. That's really what I said. I'll come check it out.
Right.
So he came and checked it out, and then he'd come once a weekend, and every other time he would stay a little longer, and a little longer, and a little longer.
And finally Sally said, oh, just go work with him. Just go work with him. I don't want to hear about it. Just go work with him. Michael,
it's in your blood. I mean, once you start, you cannot leave. If you're a true haunter, you cannot leave it, no matter what. You can, especially when you start, and then the owner or whoever is running it knows how to persuade a true haunter. Hey, could you help me with this? Paint this for me. Then the list gets longer and longer, and then you find out that you're just there. Yeah, but that's
it felt like The Godfather. It's like, every time I get out, they just pull me back in.
Yeah.
I love hearing this some of your stuff when y'all talk, because it sounds so. I can relate to it. Just see how consistent some things in haunt has been. First off, he said he told you things to do and things not to do. I'm like, man, that sounds so familiar. How many times have I been working somewhere with okay, this is your helpers for the day, and okay, cool. So we have to build this. Just don't do this, okay? I'm gonna do this, but you don't do this. So I love that has not changed the haunt. At first, I'm excited to have y'all on here, and not only, but Bart was my first person who I met who was a professional in the industry, because I was working in the backwoods haunt.
What did he call you?
And Bart?
What did he call you?
Oh, he called me a bitch. Yeah, he called. Yes.
I know. Listen, I believed it because I called him one too.
I don't remember
We were working Escape Game together. It's one of the last days I seen you, if not the last day. And I'm like, man, I messed up my ankle pretty bad. You're over there. You said everything except the B word. Yeah, you gotta step up and learn to be a man. I did this back in Vietnam. I turned my ACL and had to fight off. I'm like, listen, I halfway complained about a twisted ankle.
I still do that. The Q line asked me last year. They go, can we build a spot for the guy on stilts to be able to take breaks? And I'm like, I was just on stilts for a whole night. And I never got to break it off. What do you mean?
That's right. That's right. You tell him, Bart. You tell him, Bart. We need more men, more manly men in haunt.
What's a break?
Just keep going. You don't take breaks. You swallow your spit. You don't take breaks today.
But it's the same thing. He has to tell me that sometimes. I've realized it. We've had to tell Alan that too. It's like, Alan, not everybody's like you. So I have to remind myself too that all the time. Not everybody's like you, Bart. You don't sit there and put your head down and don't lift it back up until you're done. That's just the. So, but no.
Somebody goes to Bart. Hey, can I have a break? The fuck you think this is? The army? This is hot, bitch. Let's go.
I can relate to Bart because I literally yelled at somebody. So like, there's no crying in haunt. You don't cry in haunts. There's no crying in haunts. The guest cries in haunts. Like, what are you talking about? Just do it. Put on the makeup, put on the mask, and get out there. No, it's crazy.
There's a just like Alan had me training people at Dark Hour is the same reason I have Kniva doing it here. So that was me. Yeah, Tanya was asking for that. That's exactly my answer. Break.
I love it.
So yeah.
So yeah, I can remember talking to you. We were outside the clown maze of the haunt. We actually worked together because you were there for a year, 2 years, and you're talking like, man, I want to tear this area down. I was like, well, what would you put here? You're like, I could put a whole haunt in this little area. We're just going. I'm like, and this is before I did anything in the industry besides just this. And I went back, and he said, I could put a 20-minute haunt, if not 30-minute, right here in this spot. I'm like, okay. I hop in my truck, with the Yee boys up at the paintball field. I'm like, this motherfucker's crazy as hell. Okay. Of course, at that end, I'm like, this motherfucker's crazy. And one of our support beams on one of the wall was like a 2x4 and a 6x6 with another janky ass piece of wood stapled into the ground over there off instead of 4x4s. It's freaking out. Garden post.
Lord have mercy. I want to say this. You guys kind of was a definition. Excuse me. Where's that coming from?
He's got to look up more definitions.
Okay, you guys are the definitions of Haunter's life for me. What is Haunter's life for you? And why did you guys come up with the name?
Are you talking about the show?
Yes.
Oh, the show for me. The show for me is work. Luckily, these guys Michael's really stepped in on the filming and all that because again, I have ADHD. So as far as remembering, I have blinders on. I am so focused on the project that I don't think about other things at all. We'll have arguments about. He'll start talking about something that's like the next day, and I'm like, dude, I'm not even looking at the next day. I'm looking at today.
Yeah, I'm planning everything.
Yeah, so yeah, and I have ADHD, so I have to focus on what we're doing now. If I start thinking of that, I'll mess what I'm doing up now. So it goes with filming.
So out of both of you guys, who's like the most organized and who's the one that's Edward, you're the most organized?
That's hard. That's hard because this board is mine.
Yeah.
That's you right there. Okay.
I have to do that. I have to do that. So I'd say all of us have unique habits that we do that actually help each other out. So
we're organized in different ways.
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
But I do. I have to ask them almost every day. Say, "Oh, did you set a camera up for this?" No, I didn't. I go, "Oh, that's all right. I got you."
Yeah.
Here. I mean, I'll film. No problem. So,
yeah. So again, yeah, filming and but yeah, it's editing. The post editing takes a while sometimes, and then of course I decided to, instead of just doing a regular picture, now I got where we have big heads on other things. So now I'm doing Photoshop work on the cover photo. So for me, it's work. But again, we come from a background of sharing in the industry. We look at teaching others how to do things and all that, because again, especially in the DFW Metroplex, there was such a community of haunters. I mean, we had me, Dean Jarnick from Zombie Manor, Alex Lohman from 13th Street Mord, now Reindeer Manor, and then Alan Hops. We would all get together. I mean, we're competition. We're all competition, and we would get together every month and have lunch, and just to talk about.
They were the four huntsmen of the apocalypse.
Yeah, just to talk about everything, and then we would have workshops. We would all have workshops every year, and because we saw it this way is that everybody needs to improve. Everybody's looking to bring the haunt up to the next level, and we also look at the community as a whole. If nobody's ever been to a haunt before, and they go to a haunt that's just terrible, really bad, and they will never go to another haunt. They'll think all haunts are like that. So we're really wanting to bring in the community and have everybody step up their game, so people want to keep going to haunted attractions and not have bad experiences.
What year was that when you guys started to come together? Because was that in the early 2000s?
I would say that was probably around I think we started doing it around 2009 is when we really started getting it together. But I mean, we've been friends with Alan and Alex and Dean forever.
I think I remember that because like you guys would post pictures if it was on Facebook. This is when Facebook was like way back in when it was like still coming out, or you guys would post it, and I followed you guys. And what I loved about you guys was like, even though you guys were competition, you guys still came together to make sure that, hey, how can we make each other how can we make our market be good? Because if you win, I win, you know, and I love that. And I think that's where I cherish those moments, those haunted moments, because yeah, in your own lane, do you, right? We want to see the coolest, the baddest haunt, you know, we want to see what you can do. But when it comes together in education and bringing things together in creativity, you guys totally lend and shared so much. And at that time, it was. Could you mute your mic, your mic, Gerard, for a second? And at that time, it was like it was just huge. We needed more education. We wanted to find more things. And then, what made you guys decide to create Haunter's Life and put it on YouTube? What made you guys decide that? What was the deciding factor of that?
It was just, hey, let's do it. I mean, it was. It really was. It was hey, everybody enjoys our stories. Everybody enjoys coming out and working with us, and they have such a good time. And everybody's, why don't we just film this? And that's pretty much. And we just decided to do it. I mean, again, we had a guy named Ryan who was going to film school, Ryan Morgan, and so he started filming and editing for it because we didn't know how to do that. And so we started doing that, and we just. I mean, it was just a
lark. It really was.
Yeah, it was just like, let's do it. You know, that's pretty much everything we do. Hey, let's build a barn. Okay, let's do it. We don't know how to build a barn.
And it was so funny because it was literally on the cuff of YouTube exploding, and education and how-to videos was merging to YouTube. And this is where I was like, oh my gosh, they're winning and they're doing something great here, because you would take these episodes, and even though it was crazy banter and going back and forth and who's right and who's wrong, what I loved about it was the fact that you guys there were some great takeaways, and I want to share some of these takeaways that you guys did on your YouTube show. And if I could share my screen here, the one that I thoroughly enjoy the most was these were like your top videos that you guys have so many views on. And if I could, I'm going to go to videos. I think that would be the best way to start it. But like, it was your wall, how to distress a wall, and your lighting was huge. And it was because we were lacking in that field. I'm trying to find it still, guys. I'm so sorry.
It's like, I don't remember which one it was. I know it's in there somewhere, but
yeah, it's in here somewhere. I just gotta keep going down, I think.
Yeah, you're at the latest. Yeah, you got to go way down. I think if you go to popular, you'll probably find it faster.
Where's that at? Oh, here it is. So here is the wall. This is 35,000 views. This is 9 years ago. But let me tell you guys this video, and there's more here. Like, you got 93,000 right here.
Yeah.
Like the bricks. You guys were giving us things that the industry needed to know. Right? Have you guys taught classes like at expos and trade shows before?
Yeah. We've taught at Transworld. We've taught at MHC. So yeah, we've
West Coast,
and Hong Kong.
Yeah, and then sometimes we'll get. Now we don't do this so much now, but for a while we started having haunts that would like bring us in. They bring us out for a weekend and train their actors. Or one time we went and taught like distressing and stuff. So we don't do that as much anymore.
This one here, this one was a good one too. But this is when you guys you guys were selling something. You guys were selling a haunt at this point.
No,
This was-
yeah. We had sold the
cried at I cried at one of these videos. Like you guys were selling something, and it to me, I thought it was like,
that one is a tribute to the haunt house.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I literally thought you guys were like ending, and I like cried, like because you guys were like my everything. Because I was learning, and I would watch these videos back and forth. You guys don't understand. I will watch these videos back and forth just to educate and learn, and not only that, but to articulate the vision to a painter, to an artist that may have more skills than I did. Here's one.
But I mean, if you look at this, the zombie fight or whatever, that's how big of a community we're is that me and Dean, we were actually in each other's promos videos. So I would go, he would be doing a promo video. I would go over there and be in his. He was in our promo video. And then of course, if you go to another one, it was us at Reindeer Manor. Of course, we worked at Dark Hour.
Right.
There was just a lot of great stuff.
A lot of community. It was really cool.
That's awesome, man. And what I want to say this is I've seen you guys take shape and looks from like for years. You guys created some of the best iconic characters that were like known. Like Bart, I know you traveled and you guess but I mean I remember like you had a Pickles mask from CFX. This is when Silicon was out. And I had a Pickles mask, and I remember people would get us like kind of like mixed up. They're like, yo, like that's like he's sick and you're sick, and like how did you guys get from? I'm like, I'm in California only. Like, what are you talking about? But I had a Pickles mask, and and so you guys create, and I mean, Michael, you created some great characters too, and that's one thing I love about it is that you guys had these characters, and you guys had backstories. Can you guys tell us like how that came about and how you guys started to make that? How do you guys like create those characters?
I'll just go off the Pickles mask. His name's Cotton, and I made Cotton just to argue with everybody. I made Cotton. I was the owner of a haunted house. And there was things I couldn't say. Cotton was
say it
was the exact opposite. I could say whatever I wanted. I could sit there and call people stupid.
Right.
Cotton was just basically what he says is me unfiltered. Is what Cotton is me unfiltered. And I did it to argue with people because again I had the clown makeup, but I had a kind of like a carny look as far as the rest of me. And so people would call me a clown, and that would piss me off, because I wasn't a clown. I wasn't dressed in a clown outfit, So again, it was just to argue with people. That's the whole. That was the interaction with everybody, was to argue with them.
Was that what clients like? I need to talk to a manager, or I need to talk to a supervisor, or customer service. Yeah, content. Come in.
Come on out. This person want to talk to you.
Well, Miller's Thrillers. They all you should see the staff looking at me when I played Cotton up there, because there was a guy who jumped the line and fell into some water to go pee, and of course they're trying to tend to him.
I remembered that.
And when Cotton comes up, I'm going, what happened? And they're like, it fell in the water. Well, why did you do that, stupid? And I was like, oh, there's a line there, for you. Right. Basically just berating him for being for trying to go pee out in the field, which he fell into a spring. So of course they're looking at me like, I can't believe he's saying this, but again, it is just
that's the character. That's what the character does.
For the longest time, my gross out would be to lick people's eyeballs. Can I lick your eyeball? Do you have a contact? I get the nice chewy surprise. So for 7 years, my wife actually really thought I licked people's eyeballs. Or I didn't. Cotton did. Because
but you never know.
I mean,
again, we teach never make a promise you can't keep. So if people go, okay, go ahead. So I'd get all the slobber I could on my tongue, and I'd go right after them and just slobber all over their cheek and go, oh, I missed. I got to try again. And at that point, they're done. They don't want to have anything to do with me. They got slobber all over their cheek and all over their eye. They're like done. So
hold on. I got to talk about that. Hold on, Bart. I got to talk about that real quick before we jump to Edwards. So why would you push? Why would you? We call it elevate the fear, right? Why would you push the envelope when they sit here and say, "All right, go ahead, do it"? Why would you push the envelope? I want to talk about that because for a moment.
Well, it's making promises you can't keep. And let's say I'm gonna run up to you and I'm gonna say I'm gonna stab you in the eye, and then you go up with your knife, you're ready to stab them in the eye, you're in the kill zone, and they just go,
And they call you out. They call
yeah,
you out,
now you can't do anything. You just turn around and do the walk of shame, because you're
right?
like,
And then how do you look? And then how do you look to the audience?
yeah,
To the
exactly.
guests?
You've lost all your scariness.
Right.
How many
And
people
you
did you have to stab in the eye to establish that?
One.
It's just one.
One.
Okay.
just want to yeah. But and I know this is not about acting classes, but let me just say this. This is why I teach. When I do training for scare actors, especially in line cues, you want to escalate the fear. You want to push that envelope. You want to go there, but in a safe way, or divert. Like if you're not going to lick that eyeball, you're going to do something to gross them out so that they can back because this is your house, and we don't play that. You know what I mean? And so that's something that you guys, if you guys are trainers out there, or a scare actor or a line cue, you don't want to hurt anyone. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want nothing nasty to happen to you, especially with COVID coming around. But you got to escalate the fear. You got to push the envelope.
I love that he said that because I could visualize the stupid stuff I've done. Because I tell you something, how many times my nose has went from this end of a stranger's beard down to this end? Several times. I have licked at least 3 nipples. All right.
Hold on.
I love to hear.
Hold on. Before we even go there, don't do that, y'all. Do not do that.
This was before COVID.
Listen, Bart, after you left, the South, I went right on in. And let me just say, from California going into the South, into these trails and woods, I was like, what the are y'all doing, nasties? And they would push the envelope in such a way where you really take a chewing gum and you put it in your mouth, and then you're gonna spread it and put it out in the girl's hair, and then you're literally licking his nipple, and you think that this is okay? Like backwoods crazy stuff, like Hill House Eyes, wrong turn, like I'm in the wrong mother area, like I gotta go back to California because they would push it, and I mean, and really him and everyone. To me, I thought you taught that, Bart.
I will tell you this: do not lick people's eyebrows because some of them draw them on, and you'll literally have to start scraping your tongue. I licked somebody's eyebrow completely off, and it was all, caked on my tongue. It was awful. I quit after that. I was done.
Yeah, don't be right. Don't be licking my eyebrows off. What about you, Michael? How did you coin these icon characters? Because I see more than one, and they look fabulous, and they have great backstory.
I don't know. I guess the first one that actually we did anything with was the Ringmaster character, and we were just in a car. I think we were on our way to Houston one time, and we were just talking about, since we had Spoils the Clown at the Haunted House, we started talking about throwing together a Ringmaster character, and I went and got this stuff and threw it together and made this character, and I honestly don't know how it became kind of a big deal, but it was a fun character to play because it was a little bit different from what he did. I mean, yeah, I would say stuff that I couldn't normally say, but I love that I could insult people, but I would make people really comfortable, and calm, and then I would say crap that would just, oh, that's good. Oh. And so I would hit him a lot, psychologically with it. And he was kind of a cool character. And then we needed somebody to go up against Spoils because we did a 1 year where we were, Spoils wanted to he wanted to kind of semi-retire Spoils.
Yes. Oh.
And so we had this big election. So we created this Rigor T. Mortis character, which is where I got a CFX mask, and had this Rigor T. Mortis who was like a used car salesman, and he was just really played for laughs, and he was loud and obnoxious, and he was fun. But probably the one that I've had the most fun with, and I've been able to adapt him to a couple of different haunts, is when I was working with Dark Hour. Alan came up to me one time and he said, can you do a German accent? I'm like, no. Well, try. I'm like, oh, okay. So So I came up with this character of this doctor that was just, it was for their zombie show. And all I did was yell at everybody outside in the queue line and tell them how stupid they want to go inside. And it was like the worst German accent ever. But nobody cared because I make them laugh or jump because I suddenly yell at them. Anyway, and so I've been able to adapt that to a couple different haunts. And even now here at Terror, we've taken that character and brought him back to 1890. And so he still exists on those rare times that I'd get to dress up. But it was really fun. And I got to say this, and Alan, if you watch this at any point, I love you to death. But anytime I would play one of my more quiet characters at Dark Hour and he'd come out as Carl, I would just kind of walk away because it's like, I got nothing. There's no way I can. When he had me do that stupid German doctor, I'm running out there doing that. And even he goes, I have never seen you do anything this insane. One point, I got so happy because I saw Alan walk out as Carl and he watched me for a minute and he just turned around and went back inside. I'm like, yes.
Wait, hold up, you guys, listen. Okay, because let me tell you, I worked with some young actors, and let me tell you, some of them came and touched me, and I told Alan Hobbs this as well, I would love to work with you guys. So how was it, knowing that you guys known each other for a while, and that you guys been in competition, but then you guys worked together? How was it working with each other and knowing, like, were you guys trying to one up each other? Was there like a tally mark or
No, it's just fun to work together because again, we're all so different, but when we come together, we know each other so well that we mesh.
We play off each other
as far as messing with anybody.
I would love to watch that. I would love to just be there and just like be. I wouldn't even walk into the haunt. I'll just be right there, just watching guys. I'm dead serious because you guys had so much layers. You had the backstory. I know you guys had backstory.
Backstories are big, yeah.
But you guys had layers of, like, you guys were like an onion. Like, no matter how an audience peeled you guys, there was still more there that we were like, whoa, and I've seen videos and I've seen stuff, where people will post. So how was it like creating your characters?
It was just fun. I mean, it was always I'd say it was almost always a challenge, just kind of, in some of them, finding it. The German doctor was almost immediate. As soon as I started yelling, I had the character right then. And then just figuring out how to dress him and how to use him for different shows for Dark Hour. Coming up with the backstory, because of the fact that we do that so much with the actors that we work with. I mean, it's just, we're both creative guys, and it's fun to sit down and, okay, where did this character come from? How can I use where that character came from and bring that to life in this character? And I mean, I did a lot of theater in high school, and so I love acting. I don't really get to do much of it anymore, except the occasional times we do it here. But
we're changing that.
But I mean, as far as coming up with it, it's always fun to come up with something and to see it work. When you sit there and you go out as this character for the first time and you actually see people responding to it the way that you want them to, and going, oh, this works. And every now and again you get some that don't work so great. I mean, I did a clockmaker character for Dark Hour for a few shows, and he was okay. I think the greatest line that I ever got out of that one was I was carrying around this big giant clock, and somebody in the line said, wait, I can't remember exactly what they said, but
that's a big clock.
Yeah, I said, that's a big clock. And as I walked by, I said, thanks for enunciating the L. And that's all I said. And I got huge laughs, and I was like, oh God, they're going to get me for that one. But and he was an okay character, but it didn't really go anywhere with it as much as I wanted to. But so you have some good ones and some not so good ones, but most of them have been fun.
That is such a smart line. Thank you for enunciating the L.
I don't even know where that came from. It just, like, that's what I love about doing Q line work, is I love to improvise and stuff just comes out. I never, if somebody says something to me, something is there.
Did you ever have a situation for, like, you maybe went the wrong direction or a little too far, and now you're like, I pray to God they don't remember me. You just walk off into the crowd. You just
lots of times.
Please just say
again, probably lots of times. Me, not so much.
So wait,
any of them you could say, past the 7 years, anything you could say.
We passed the statute of limitations. We're good.
Yeah.
There's like a cursed jar back there or something. People $1. Listen, was it like working with a Bart? What is it like working with a theater haunter? The reason why I say that because
I get a hard time. I go, oh, you're a thespian.
listen, well, we got something in common because I'm a thespian too. I've done theater, Broadway, off Broadway. I've done it all, so it's okay.
Yeah.
We're there. But
it's great. Again, we compliment each other on things. So
right. I mean, to me, because I have a theater background, I just took theater and film and kind of just meshed it with my heart, and it just made sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, it's like why reinvent the wheel when there's a ticket box office person in theater? Let's put a ticket box office person in your heart. You know, and that's when I started delegating and started putting positions and people in there. So it helped me out, you know. But I feel like haunters that have a theater background is a little bit more meticulous and a little bit maybe dramatic at times than the other regular haunter. So I just want to know how you guys deal with it.
I don't think I've ever been accused of being overdramatic.
Chris Sure, I know. I think Chris Sure. He's from Polar Breach Effects. I think he's from theater, and then I think Scott Swanson. He's from the theater world as well.
So,
yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, we out here. We do it. But
I mean, to be honest, I'd probably be in this if I didn't have that different life back then. I think I would. Again, I was like, where I am today? Why was I not in theater?
Yeah.
You know? But again, it was a different life then. I was in sports big time, and so just I never went down that route.
Yeah. It was so hard because when I wanted to do football, it's like, no, you got to do a show, and like, and then in theater they'll hold you to it, like you're playing this part. There's no understudy. You gotta play the part, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had both worlds, and but I'm whatever, it is what it is. But I have a question. What makes you guys still dress out and be a character when you're operating?
The big thing you're talking about delegating. Back at the haunt house, I tried to do everything myself at very first. Try to just do everything, and then I finally started delegating stuff out to the point of I'd come in, I would turn all the switches on to the haunt, and then go sit down. And that's all I would do until because they said I was more valuable out in the queue line than I was anywhere else. And so and of course, that's what we love. Me and him, we love to get in costume and character. And of course, what I hate is I hate that I am really good at running an attraction because that's what they want me to do, even though I would rather just go get in a room and scare people. Yeah. So again, talking about delegation, we came up with a plan to start running things like it was back at the haunt house, except this is like
much bigger.
Grand scale, and we're like, okay, it's gonna take 3 years. It's gonna take 3 years, and we'll have this place running. That way, me and you can start getting in costume every other night. Like he gets in costume one night, I get the costume the other night.
Okay.
It ran that well in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, things running like a machine. With all the people we put in place, and they just really ran with it. And we're lucky to, again, just like the haunt house, we're lucky to have the staff that we have that will just take stuff and run with it. And so this year I have to create a new character now, because this year we're actually going to start every other night. It's either me or him in costume.
You guys heard it first here. Yep, that's scary. Bart Butler and Michael Edwards is getting back. They came back from retirement, and they are scaring. They are scary. Look, yo. So I know this is gonna be a good treat for you, Gerard, because you're in their neck of woods now. And we're gonna try to do a haunt review. Yep, that's scary.
Yeah,
oh, cool.
I'll be in. I'll be in Colorado in the month of October.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we're open in October.
Coincidence.
Yeah. I was literally going to hit you up as one of the reasons. My month of October will be in Colorado.
Yeah. Awesome. So you haven't had our list yet, but we sat down as a team and we're like, what?
The corner top of the list.
We're like, what are we doing for the month of October? And so each host has to have at least 5 haunts or whatever and he sent in his list, and I was like, "Yo, you Michael Edwards, let's go!" Like, I dude, I'm gonna have to join you just to see them because now that they're coming and there's a new character coming out and they're scaring, I gotta see it. And let's not go like the first. When are you guys opening? Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over because I'm excited. I'm excited for the
Because
movie.
I got some questions I've been waiting to ask about the haunt
What?
because they got some stuff. Well, it's because it's the haunt related. I want to keep hearing about them and stuff, but
Right.
a part of me want to hear about the paintball, right?
Let me just finish. Let me just finish.
Yeah, you cut in the head. You cut in the head too quick.
Let me just finish this real quick. I know. But let me
It's
just say
like
this.
trying to hit out your cousin too early at the
I
family
know.
reunion. You
I
gotta
don't-
wait to the last
Yeah.
30 minutes.
So listen. What is new for Hunter's life? Because we want to jump to the haunt. So what's new for the Hunter's life? What do you guys see in the pipeline?
We just film ourselves working every week, and hopefully somebody will learn something off of whatever we're doing. And again, we try to put a lot of humor into it to make it watchable, and it really is just us being
Like we're not going,
ourselves.
okay, episode 12, we're going to do this.
No.
And we just,
We
there's
just
no-
we just
Watch
film.
this.
like, what footage do we have this week? Okay,
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah, we just gather all the footage we have of that week, and then we edit an episode.
You seem like cool bosses to work with. Like I would love just to take a day and just like help you guys out on the farm.
I
And,
hope so.
Is there any challenges? Is there any challenges that you guys face or deal with every day? Because a farm is different from an outdoor attraction, even though they're both outdoor attractions. And then, of course, both of them, a farm is different from a indoor. What do you guys see? What challenges do you guys face being on a
biggest
farm?
challenge is the outdoor. I've worked in pretty much indoor haunted attractions the majority of my life. It's really hard. The way you have to build stuff, especially with the Colorado wind, you have to build stuff very strong. So when you're building a set, you're spending about twice as much money as if you were building it indoors. That would say that's the biggest thing that I can come up with as far as every day is just dealing with Mother Nature.
Right. And the fact that, I mean, at the end of the season, we have to put,
Yep.
we have to put so much stuff away, or, like most of the scenes, a lot of stuff is piled into a corner. And
Yeah. So
tarps have to be
like
put
if you
over.
came for a tour right now, it'd be like, imagine this, imagine that.
Yeah,
the
the sets are there. I mean, you can see the sets.
Yeah,
but a lot
but
of
everything's
stuff
pushed
isn't
into
there.
a corner with a tarp over it. It's just.
Are you stick framing some of these sets the way you're describing due to the fact the weather is out there?
Am I doing what?
Stick
Stick
frame.
framing. Or is it all still modular walls?
No, they're all permanent. The only thing that's
Permanent.
modular would be the stuff that goes out in the corn, but we actually built it to just stay that way, and we just brace it really good and then put it out in the corn, and then.
Yeah, we used to have to build the stuff out in the corner, but now we have, which you'll see that
If
we
you
have these
watch the
permanent buildings
episodes.
that we pick up.
Yes. Okay. So you guys were like the first ones that I've seen that actually take a tractor, it's like, and you guys lift up that little set. It was like, all right, we're gonna move it here. I was like, that's so cool. That's so like. I mean, that was cool to me because you could redesign your town, your ghost town, or any
Well,
set.
actually, it's the corn maze that gets redesigned every
Yeah,
year.
we'll redo stuff in the haunt.
We do
like
stuff
we'll-
in the haunt, yeah.
Yeah, we'll change some of the scenes, and we've torn down quite a bit of it and rebuilt new scenes over the last few years. The corn is the one thing that gets like the path will change every year. How we set it up changes every year. But the haunt itself has changed a lot. We're going to spend the next couple of years doing a lot of upgrading. I mean, because it's been there for a long time.
2021, we changed up. I would say we changed up probably about 60% of the haunt. It became hey, let's do this little area, and it just kept growing and growing and growing and growing. And I honestly had no idea how we did it, but I wanted to change up the way the scares were because I wanted to, at that time we were getting about 20,000 people a year. And I wanted to change up the scares because I wanted to create scares that we can do with multiple scares with one actor, and then a lot of pop scares because I wanted to raise our numbers in not tickets, but our attendance. And we did not expect the growth that we had from 2021. We went from 20,000 to 50,000 people.
God damn.
Hold on. Y'all hear this? By what did you guys do to get those numbers?
We're
not sure.
We're not sure what we did. We did do a little bit of more marketing standpoint. I can't. We did some more stuff on Facebook, film, photos, and then we also got into all the spirits in Colorado. We changed up our radio ad. We did a lot of stuff, but again, us making this 60% change was just so we could be prepared, just to make people hunt better and be prepared for those bigger numbers. We did not expect us to jump up 30,000 people in 1 year. And then we raised the ticket price in 2022 and we jumped up another 5,000, expecting our tickets to go down because we raised the price, but no.
But no, because it just shows the demand. Also, it shows that you guys care about the show and that you guys had to change the quality in it and the value so that you guys can get the results that you guys want. Most haunts don't think that. I mean, heck, some haunts still shop at spirits, but I mean, that's just.
Yeah. Well, we found it. I mean, it was funny when we were first kind of talking about advertising at Spirit, because back in Texas, it was kind of a big deal to be in a spirit store. Because I mean, that's some of your audience right there.
Right. That's your audience.
So there'd be some haunts that would kind of lock in contractually, and we'd know them. It's like, oh, can we put some stuff in, the store by the home? Oh yeah, go ahead, that's fine. So when we started talking to the Spirit here, they were like, yeah, we can kind of, we'll lock you guys in. That you guys, no one's really approached us to do this. And the fact that we're supporting their Spirit of Children Foundation was a big part of it. Was we would end up getting into 20 stores, and we had flyers and these really cool standees that we made that would go. Oh yeah, we've got one here. If you can get it, that would go into all the stores, and they would take their the card that they would take would give them $2 off. Yeah. But then anytime they would use the code, they would get $2 off. But then for every ticket sold with that code, we would then turn around and give $1 to Spirit of Children
Foundation. Now,
while we didn't necessarily get as many people using the code as we expected, I still feel very strongly that it still got our haunt in front of thousands more people that were only used to certain haunts that were here in the Colorado area and maybe heard of us or even maybe hadn't heard of us. And so I think that played a role. I'm just not sure how much.
I love the fact that. Go ahead, Gerard.
I think that y'all hit the number one market front. As soon as they get a physical thing in your hand and a couple dollars off, even $2 off, that's a ticket sold.
But what's so
like
smart?
That little coupon.
But Gerard, what's so smart? What they did was they literally said, "Okay, we want to help and support your foundation because there's a connection there, right?" And then that relationship allowed them to actually have more play with spirits in their market, and that is so smart. That's really, I'm writing that down. That's really smart. It's really smart because not only you guys are scaring people, but you guys are scaring with the cause, and that's beautiful. Okay, so real quick before we move on to Terror the Corn, so who has a pet peeve with who?
Who's what?
Who has a pet peeve?
Yeah, with who when they do something. We want to hear some juicy. The juicy.
Oh my God, we can have a whole episode of that.
We want the moist. We want to know who is. Because hey guys, you guys been with each other for so long.
We're like two brothers,
Right.
It's just.
When you left Miller's and you went back, when you went to Anderson Farms, I was like, whoa, like that's dynamite the duos right there.
Wait. What's the time frame? What's our time? You left Miller's because I was with you at Miller's. Yeah, at what point did you go to Terror the Corn?
Well, I left to go up to Ohio to Factory of Terror, not Factory of Terror, but that's John Eslich's Akron Haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory, which was phenomenal because it's been around since 1974. It was so cool to be a part of that history. But John brought me up there he just bought Akron Haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory, and he brought me up there to reinvent the wheel on the place. And wow, that was a crazy ride. Awesome guy, John. Loved working with him. My family absolutely hated Ohio. So I was there 2 years, and my family was like, we even went through the sheet of pros and cons, and because I tried to get them to stay, because I loved working there, but there's pros and cons, and the only pro was my job. So we moved back to Texas and was there with Dark Hour and Alan, and then Michael's been trying to get me on at Tearing the Corn for the longest time.
From day one,
Yeah.
when they first hired me, I was like, at some point, if we can, he's going back to Texas. Maybe we should try to get him. Well, that passed, and he went back to Texas. I kept pushing, and as one of the owners here said, apparently I was relentless. And so in 2020, at the beginning of 2020, before COVID, they finally said, okay, yeah, maybe we need to do this, because I kept saying, look, he would bring so much to this show. And they finally said yes. And he moved up here. And then like a week after he moved up here, COVID hit. So we were like, if there had been any delay there, I'm not sure if they would, because we didn't know if we were going to open in 2020.
Right.
And so, that might have killed it right there, but it didn't. He was already here. He was already hired.
And then, of course, it's Colorado. I vacation here. So I was,
But y'all are truly friends, because the dedication and commitment just to make sure that you guys work together
I mean,
again.
I had to live with him for 5 months. So poor guy.
Yeah. Sally and I had to put up with him for 6
You mentioned
months.
that in your post. I was like, oh, but the sacrifice paid off.
And we do joke about the fact that pretty much daily he has to point out to me, you wanted me here. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
You wanted me, and all that comes with it.
I made that sacrifice for the good of the hunt.
Because I can remember sitting there talking with Bart one day, and we're out there working on something. He's like, "Man, we should just do an indoor hunt and swinging hammers. We're nailing these walls together, some shit like that. Stupidity. Screws is where to go. And we're just nailing this thing together. Like, I should have done an indoor hunt. It's so frustrating. I think it was just too hot. And I'm like, one day I was like,
it wasn't hot.
This man went. It was a million years ago. This man went from an outdoor hunt in Tennessee to a fucking outdoor hunt in Colorado. Man, that place probably froze. I was like, he went backwards, or at least it's not too bad over there. But
Weather's harsher out there, huh, in Colorado.
It's Texas. Texas, the heat is like we would walk.
Texas heat is bad.
It's more humidity than anything. The humidity is always like at 80 or 90%. But I mean, we would walk inside the hot house, and we would come out an hour later looking like we jumped into a swimming pool. Here is the exact opposite. It's so dry.
I can't remember the last time I broke a sweat working out here. It's just like
it's so dry. It's hot. We're closer to the sun, so you get sunburned real easily. But it's just dry. I mean, to be honest, like up in Ohio, John loves telling the story. We're up on the 4th floor of the lab, redoing the whole 4th floor. And he goes, everybody's up there dying, just oh my gosh, it's in July, middle of July. And then I look over at Bart. Bart's just, like no big deal, because again, it's up there in Ohio. I'm so used to dealing with Tennessee and
Tennessee was that's bad.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal to me.
Yeah, I remember when I went to Tennessee. It was like right after you left Miller's, and I went in 2018, I believe, or 19. And then I went there, and the heat alone, like I had shaved my hair, like I had a mohawk, I had too much hair in my head. I shaved it, I was prepared, and then I saw snakes, cicadas, big flies, possums. Was it armadillo that had AIDS, and then deer. I was literally out in the forest. I was running from chaser snakes, and I saw snakes eating snakes. It was crazy. And then they were like, well, and then here's the thing. What was crazy? They were like, Will, you're gonna help us build this and take this thing to the next level. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna help with marketing. I'm gonna bring all this greatness to the show. I met him, Gerard, and I was like, get that girl off her and button your shirt. What's wrong with y'all? And I was like, I had a belt and a switch. It's like the heat made it horrible. I was horrible. I was like, ah. And then it was like this kind of like faux pas where they didn't want to tell me who was before me. And I was like, well, this is all, everything's everywhere. And there's things rotten. What's going on here? I'm not trying to put no one's business out there, but there's stuff in here rotten. And I see a big old set over here, $12,000 just sitting and rotten in the fields. What's going on? And it was like, well, the person that was here, they were really, they were focusing, they weren't having a good time here because it was, I guess things were just all over the place. And then when I heard someone say, yeah, the person that was here before you was Bart Butler, I was like, Bart Butler? You better get him back over here so was like, shoot, I'll quit. He can come back here and fix all of this because it's y'all let this place go. I'm telling the truth. See, that's what we do. I'm not here at Yep, That's Scary. We just keep it real. But yeah, but I was like, Bart Butler was here before me. You kidding? I said, and y'all let him leave. I said, the heck, I'm leaving. If he left, I gotta go. I'm dead serious. I was like, it's time for me to go. So let's talk about Terror Decor. You guys made this amazing haunted attraction. You guys check it out. That looks so cool. Tell us what's Terror in the Corn.
Oh, me? Oh, okay. So Terry the Corn, which has been around for
2001
since 2001. Started off as a small farm haunt, and slowly grew over the years. There's a gentleman, Wayne Wells, that came on board and started growing the haunt and making it a larger attraction. Still kept it a little family friendly, but just started growing it in size. And and it was a really good haunt. And when I came up here in 2018, the haunt had already started changing a little bit, even more, because Wayne had passed away just a couple of years before I came up. And a gentleman up here was here by the name of Greg Allen, and his goal was to try to turn the haunt into a more of a nationally recognized haunt. He started building more winding paths, because there was a lot of straight shot. Oh my God, is that that's not ours, is it?
That's not
Is
ours.
it? Unless
that's from 20 years ago.
Unless that's the other Terror in the Corn.
Oh, that might be because there's a Terror in the Corn out in
Albuquerque.
Oh no, it's
New
in
Mexico.
Arizona. In Arizona. So that's not us.
Sorry, y'all.
That's okay.
I was looking at that picture going, wait, I haven't seen that picture.
Yeah, it's like, unless that's really old or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. We have nobody that looks like
Which
that.
we need to talk about haunts, copying other haunts' names, and they need to be
It's
okay.
But
That means y'all forgive them.
so he started changing the haunt a lot, making it a little bit more windy and doing some really cool stuff with it. And then I came on in 2018 and him in 2019, and now
2020.
it's, I'm sorry,
2020.
2020. Yeah, it's all the same. It all runs together. But so Tearing the Corn is now, in the last few years, turned into this mile-long attraction that takes up, God, how many acres? I think
300.
Well, the whole farm is 300 acres.
Oh,
but,
as far as the I think it's around 8 to 10 acres.
yeah, and so
Is that just the attraction, or is that including the parking lot and everything?
no, that's just the attraction. No, they got a huge parking lot out here. I don't even know how many acres the parking lot is.
The whole place is around over 300 acres.
Yeah, it's a huge. The whole Anderson Farms is huge. But it's the haunt itself was created to be an old ghost town, with the corn adjacent to it, with the Wells twins, Charles and Mildred, who had come here back in the late 1800s and basically took the place into hell, and having games, killing people, and it was just a mess of a place. And but it's now started to change a bit, because like Bart, when he came on board, he felt one of the limitations we had was, since it is this old ghost town, most of the creatures that are in the town are, kind of ghouls and, people that lived in the town, not a whole lot of real monstrous, kind of fantastical characters. So last year, Bart's brainchild was we introduced this character called Demetra, and she's a witch. And what you're talking about, having a witch for, one of your icon characters. But the witch has now come to town because she is, discovered the power that is here, and she wants that power. And so because that witch is here, there's a little bit more of a magical or mystical, aura that is overtaking it. And so now this year she has overtaken the corn and parts of the town, where we're creating a lot more fantastic creatures. You go into her realm and you end up, running across the Wendigos and these monstrous creatures. Nice. So it's allowed us to kind of break out of that mold of just the ghost town. And so there's going to be some cool stuff going on this year with that, because we started it last year And now this year it's really going to, take hold with some of the new characters that we're going to have, and all these new buildings that we've created for the cornfield. But it's a huge haunt, and you talk about challenges. What challenges? One that I was going to mention. All the challenges are not physical. One of the challenges that we've had is because of the fact that it's a farm haunt, and the fact that it's called Tearing the Corn, is there's this misconception that it's just a cornfield. And like we were even on like Channel 2 News last year, and they said, so when they come out to this cornfield, what's it like? And it's like, well, let me stop you there. First, I want to address that misconception that it's not just a cornfield. The cornfield, like he said, is about a sixth of the haunt. The rest of it is this huge ghost town where you're weaving in and out of buildings and sawmills and general stores and all this stuff. There's a lot to the haunt, way beyond just the corn. So getting past that that impression that some people have has been a challenge. But I think more and more people are starting to learn that now. And they're getting that impression now that, oh yeah, it's way more than just a cornfield.
Now, do y'all have a zombie hayride there? A zombie
We used
paintball
to.
here?
They used to.
Yeah, that we got rid of that after 2021. It just wasn't generating the revenue that we wanted to. I know we redid it when I first got here. We redid the whole hayride in 2020, just as a last ditch effort.
To try to get some life out of it. I mean,
Yeah.
it would get decent numbers, but it still just wasn't making the kind of money.
It was more trouble than the money it was making.
Yeah. So it finally just went away, which last year was great for us because it enabled us to focus 100% of our attention on the haunt and not have to worry so much about the things that we were trying to upgrade out in the cornfield, or out in the zombie paintball. So now it's gone away.
And then, of course, the zombie barn, which is where all the trailers were in, is now our shop. So that it turned out good too.
Okay, that's nice. I see you guys have Jelly Ball. Is that right?
Well, we did.
We did.
We did.
We did.
That did not turn out as well either. We actually have a shooting gallery that has always been paintball, and it's just, again, we get cold weather up here, so paintball becomes a little bit of an issue. And
But the jelly ball just wasn't as popular.
the
People
jelly
didn't
ball
like it
just
as
wasn't
much.
popular. They
You
really
don't
like
get that satisfying pop.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what they want. They want it. And also too is a lot harder to see. However, we are taking the buildings that we have out at Zombie, and we were supposed to do it this year. There's just no way with all the upgrades the haunt was going to get. But we're actually going to make a zombie paintball shooting gallery. Now, there's not going to be live zombies in there, but it'll still just be a shooting gallery. But we're going to take the buildings out there from Zombie Road and bring them over and put them in. It's just going to be another attraction.
Yeah, it'll be this
for
big,
the farm.
this big scape of all the buildings. So it's not just like a little shooting gallery. It's like, oh my God, all these buildings and
It looks
vehicles
good.
and-
It's not just a little shooting gallery that we have now. So,
Now, excuse my selective hearing. Did you guys mention how many attractions you have actually?
we didn't.
we did. Well, as far as like the haunt, it's just one. As far as the farm, there's just too many to list. I mean, again, if you want to know the value of our ticket, it cost last year. I think it cost $25 to get into the
To
farm.
get into the farm.
Just to get into the farm. You got that. So $25 just to get in the farm. However, if you buy a Terror in the Corn ticket, which was $39 last year, you're looking at that also gets you onto the farm. So if you look at the value of the ticket of Terror, you're looking at $14. So $14 because you got that $25 ticket and then
Wow.
the $39 ticket. So
But a lot of people don't take advantage of that.
yeah, so that's the problem we've been advertising it. It's just like, hey, you get this where you can come all day and spend the day on the farm with your kids, take your kids home, come back and go through the haunt. It's just the value of the ticket is actually really, really cheap. The value of the ticket is actually cheap. But again,
Now-
96% of our customers don't do the farm. And so it just works out that way.
The
So
farm does okay. They get enough people.
Yeah, the farm's like
the farm has is a daytime show. Is that a daytime event or is it nighttime event?
it's day and night.
It's day and night.
So they're open in the morning and they open until we close. And
And the
so-
farm has a maze or no?
yes,
corn
they have
maze?
the largest corn maze in Colorado.
Right, but everyone comes out to that haunt. They want that scare. They want
Oh
to
no,
scream.
everybody comes out.
No,
to
they
the
they
hunt.
they get. Oh, they. I'm telling you right now, they do 3 times the amount of people we do.
Whoa!
Yeah.
They kind of wanted us to low key advertise on coming to the farm because of the amount of people. COVID
That you
was
come to the
actually
farm.
COVID was
They don't go
actually
to the hunt.
yeah COVID was actually a really good thing for them because we've always since Greg got here I think they tried time ticketing and it worked. Time ticketing works. Anybody that's doing it, time ticketing. I can't tell you that enough.
You better say that again. You need to say that again because people are.
Time
Time
ticketing.
ticketing.
Because again, I've been other haunts where they come in and everybody 600 of them come at 7, and then they're like, why are we waiting this long? Or everybody comes at 7 and then they're waiting in line for 3 hours. Instead, you got time ticketing where you can only have so many people per half hour. And
Right.
It works out really well where nobody's not waiting hours to get into a haunt. But the farm started doing that, and that has controlled a little bit of the amount of people out on the farm too. But the farm is doing exceptionally well to the point of they don't want us to advertise as much for people to come out to the farm because they're already having to deal with their own problems.
That's good problems. I love good problems because that's what.
We all have good problems.
Yeah, their attendance is amazing. I mean,
Yeah, you put your head together and we say, "Hey, how can we make this work?" But the time ticketing makes you guys stay in control of the flow, pretty
Yeah.
much. That's all.
To give you the vast amount or how big our haunt is, and again, this is a problem both of us have. We really don't. We always have blinders on. We're always looking at what we're doing. We never hardly step back and look at the big picture. But when we do, we're both amazed by it. Was I go through every night. This is almost my only interaction with my actors, which I have to do. And I hate it when I don't do it, which I go through right before we open, I go through and I fist bump everybody and tell them have a good night. And then I come out. And so as I was coming out, Michael came out. All right, 7 o'clock has already gone through. We're already getting 700. 7:30 is already.
and nobody's come out of the hunt.
And
yet
nobody
except him.
except for me. And then immediately you could see the gears just running in his head. Oh my gosh. Yep. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Yep, that's it. We have over 550 customers in the haunt right now.
In the hunt. Not counting actors, just customers.
In the haunt. Yeah.
I gotta hit one little note real quick. I love that you said every night I go through, I fist bump every. Y'all, I don't think a lot of hunt owners understand because I experience it. They don't understand like that guy who you got to look up to, the guy who's running the show. When you're like a low pop scare actor, that's big. It's like, oh shit, he sees that I'm a rock star, like I see in my head. When I'm in that, I'm gonna scare the shit out of this dude. He's gonna tell stories about the guy in the pig mask who came out, and that little boost of confidence really builds up a scare actor. And you want that confidence, you want that bullshit confidence with them, because they're like, I am the shit, because I am the shit. Let's sit here and smell me, and they go at it. You got to get that. I love how you go through. Come on. Because what? Back when I ran my attraction, the same one we worked at today. Man, let me tell you something. I gave them some cocky ass attitudes, because they were the shit. You could smell it, and not just the BO.
Actors are the blood of the haunt. I mean, they make or break your show. I mean, they are just.
They do. Yeah.
They are the blood that runs through. I mean, it's just.
And they're important to us. We want them to know that they're important to us. And it's not just lip service. I mean, we care about their well-being and that they're doing good and having fun. And, it's important to us.
Yeah. And again, there's so much other stuff going on that like we have Kaniva. It was just us. We were the ones that were having to run the show and be actor managers. And it just got to the point where it's like, we don't have time to run through the haunt. It's not fair to them. So we hired Kaniva, which was a blessing. And that's what he does.
We got Michael Kaniva.
Okay. Yeah, Kaniva was a blessing in which he's the actor manager now. And he does things so perfectly. He has our vision. So his vision is the same as ours. And so I hate that I don't get to have that interaction with our staff because there's so much other stuff going on. So that is kind of the fist bump thing is my only time, which sucks because that's the only time I actually get to see my staff. So when we had the after party that we have every year, everybody was coming in without makeup on. And I was kind of going, wait,
Who
who are you? Who are you? I'm so used to seeing makeup on that I'm just it was really hard. But no, yeah. So actors are hugely important.
I love that you fist bump them because you're passing that good energy, those good vibes onto them, making sure like you guys know that you exist to me, you know that you're important to me, but also we're going to have a good show. And sometimes they need that because who knows how you receive your scare actors because of their life.
Yeah.
How do you know? Most of them actually come and and some of them will leave that drama right at the door frame because it's their escape. It's their livelihood. It's their therapy. It's their time to let something off and let some stress
Well,
out.
that's the way we've always looked at it.
Right.
So
It was definitely
Beautiful.
therapy for me when I was acting. Oh my god.
Yep. Same here.
yeah,
Same here.
Are you still doing that? I think it's Hawaiian or maybe it's Mayan. Like before you open, you that little that cool rod.
yeah. But we're not doing. It's kind of like that. We've changed it up a little bit.
We're doing a different version of it.
Different version of it.
But yeah, we still get everybody pumped up before the show like
Beautiful.
that. And yeah, it's awesome, that energy. And we've got such a huge cast now that, I mean, it's like you hear that. What are we? Let's see. We were up to like 140. What was it?
Well, that was last year.
That was last year.
This year we're up to 200.
Yeah, this year we're going to need to hire 200.
And y'all pay them $15 an hour. That's a lot of money. I mean, payroll's probably pretty high.
Yeah.
I did a
Well,
job.
I mean, the thing is that last year it was a 30,000 person jump. I wanted to make sure that was real or not. I wanted to make sure before I hired a bunch
That wasn't a fluke.
It wasn't a fluke. So now that we went up 55,000, to 55,000 people, it's not a fluke anymore. So
Right.
we're going to hire the actors
Beautiful.
to that now. So yeah.
Beautiful. Man, oh man, I got some bills to pay over here. I got some expos to go to. So I'm gonna go get a job. Get a job at Terror in the Corn. So what so you have one attraction and then there's the farm that you can get a 2 for ticket to kind of enjoy for the time. There's food, there's entertainment. And how is it with your nearby competition? Is it fairly who is your nearby competition? I just want to know.
I think our nearby is Frightmare Compound, which is I think is the oldest haunt in Colorado, and then 13th floor,
13th floor
down in Denver.
Yeah, what's his name is at Frightmare Compound. They have the plane and everything. I've been trying to get to their thing for a minute too, so I may have to join you, Gerard, in Colorado because I got some people out there that I got to see. But this is a blast. Look, I had so much fun with you guys and just talking about 800's life and Terror in the Corn and just having my idols here, just chatting it up. But let me tell you this: we're not going to skim over the question that I asked before. What's the pet peeve?
Oh, I forgot to answer that, didn't I think the pet peeve is I don't look far enough, and he looks too far. I know that's an argument we have.
Longevity and this right now.
Yeah,
I love it.
What are we going to do about that? I'm not even thinking about that yet.
Okay. Yeah,
we're right here. We're right here, right now. The camera standing this next week.
I would say that was the biggest argument we have all the time, or the fact that I think the other thing is that we can't hear each other. And we'll talk, and of course one of us will go.
Wait, so wait, y'all talk on top of each other, and y'all don't actively listen because y'all
I'm old, so I'm deaf.
But again, we'll have some
hearing too.
Our shop is completely awful. The sound echoes so bad that everything just sounds jumbled. And then of course we also have Dylan. Dylan's another guy that works for us.
Dylan Dreiling, our awesome technical guy, and our welder, and oh my god, he's amazing.
But Dylan forgets that he doesn't talk loud sometimes, so we'll just hear him over there. It sounds like he's mumbling. He's talking regularly, but we can't. There's so much echo. So yeah, the damn it Dylan, which is that's a
shirt. Yeah.
I think every haunt has a Dylan. And I'm not talking like a character, like a name Dylan. They're just there because we had a Dylan. I can remember Dylan. Every haunt has a Dylan.
Is Dylan?
Okay,
Dylan's right on the top of the
top.
There he is. There's Dylan hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
Oh, Dylan.
Kaniva in the middle.
Yeah,
going,
Kaniva's in the
these
middle.
guys.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
right here. This is awesome. I love seeing this. So these are your new looks for A Hunter's Life. You guys have your pictures. I saw the one with the raft.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, how was it at halfway to Halloween at Fear Factory? I know you guys all.
amazing.
Oh yeah, that was
Amazing.
really cool.
Yeah, I was a little bit
we
jealous. Tell you guys there, I was jealous. You know why? Because Spencer Terry told me not to come. Don't come. Half the lights are gonna be off, Willie. I don't want to.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
wanna you. And
it
I was like,
But it was a still
No,
it was a
we
good
know.
show with that though. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
because there's still quite a bit of light going on in the haunt. It's not like it was just complete blackout.
yeah, but it was
So-
yeah, they still had a great show. The other good thing is that we went there to I wanted to see how they ran because again they run more people than we do. So I wanted to see how they ran stuff, and we're running it the exact same way. So there's a lot of confirmation in the things we do. We did learn some things,
Beautiful.
which of
Good, we're
course,
doing that right.
we're doing. Yeah, we did learn some things that they were doing. Like, oh, we need to do that, and so. But no, and of course Spencer's awesome. Spencer is a phenomenal guy, and the other owners are really great too. So
yeah, I mean, it's like kind of like a buy-in ownership percentage, and not only that, but like you own your piece of, and this is your lane that you stay in. Like it's such a community there that I'm like, whoa, this is weird. I've never seen it that way before, but he kind of made a different proof of concept that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty
yeah,
cool.
they're good people there. We had a wonderful time. The churros there are absolutely.
You had the churros. You had the churros with the dip and the stuff.
Oh, more than one. Oh my God.
Yeah, they were trying to give us more when we left. We're like, no, can't do it. No, we're done.
Mr. Terry, I'm so upset right now. Like, not only you have Bart Butler and Michael Edwards, but you had churros. Listen, I kind of made a deal for myself because I have haunt news. We do haunt news in a minute, Gerard and I, and it's just a video that we kind of put like a 3-5 minute video, and we just let it go out, just to let everyone know what's happening in the industry. But like we got news that he's turning his haunt into an event, a music venue, off season, and doing concerts there in collaboration with another Mutini music collective, and they got some big major bands coming in. You know, I milked an opportunity, and I think I may have gotten it. I may have gotten some free tickets to to Fear Factory's first concert. Yeah, baby. Yeah, woo! Yeah. I'm gonna go rock out with Spencer Terry. I swear, we're gonna have a good time. Well, now we're at now we're at the time where you get to tell the viewers, the guest final thoughts. You get to like tell us where we can find you, what's next, how can we reach you, and all that good stuff. Are you guys ready?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hey, so final thoughts. Oh my gosh. Okay.
How can they find us, Bart?
How can they find? Oh, you can definitely find us on A Haunter's Life on YouTube. All you gotta do is search Haunter's Life on YouTube. There's this, and also too we're at Terror in the Corn at Erie, Colorado, which is a great haunt here in Colorado. We're a mile long. We have lots of fun stuff for you to do here at Anderson Farms also. Haunter's Life, man, we're just trying to promote that a little bit more. We made some broken promises that we were going to return, and those, be ADHD, those failed. We finally did return, and we're just trying to get our viewers back after how many years? 5 or so years.
Yeah, I think it's 5 years.
Yeah, we haven't been on. So, anything else?
Man, I can't think of anything other than, man, it's been really a pleasure talking to you guys, man.
Thank
This
you.
is so great. Walking down memory
very
lane.
much for talking to us.
And we hope you guys get to come out and check out the haunt. And we hope everybody watching this ever, and even people that haven't watched this, will get to come out to the haunt.
Beautiful. Well said. And let me just say this. When I heard you guys were coming back, and I think Bart posted, because I don't really see you post much, Michael, but
I don't do as much as I used to. I've backed off of it a little, yeah.
But Bart posted, you should have saw me. I was jumping, screaming. I was speaking in tongues. Should have got a Honda. I went to church because I missed you guys, and I want to say this: thank you guys so much for you holding the standard, you holding the haunt banner, and creating what a true haunter life is all about. And we at Yep That's Scary love you. And I cannot wait to see more and more and more of what you guys create, what comes out your crazy nightmares into reality. And we want to say thank you so much. Are you guys military background?
No, I mean my dad was. My dad was career military,
Right.
but not me.
Most theater kids aren't the most theater kids. Well, we want to say thank you so much, and we hope that you have a great Memorial Day weekend. Okay.
You guys as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. Wow. Woo! Thank you guys. Woo! That was a whoa. That was. Listen, another good show. Another good show, and I love bringing the ones that paved the way for us onto the show because there's so much. Just first of all, they're fun to talk to and to pick their brains, but also there's so much history there that we can learn from. You know what I mean? You learn, like, I hated history in high school, but now I know you have history because you learn from it. You know what I mean? And
history repeats itself.
History repeats itself. But let me just tell you, there are my role models in Hans, and when I had one that treated me like crap at Transport for the first time, I'm not going to name no names, but if you know my story, you know, they were the ones that I kind of leaned on without really leaning on them, where they blessed me from afar, and I was just like, I'm going to watch their videos, and I'm going to be devoted. So I love them, and I'm so happy that they were on the show. Go ahead.
I'm so happy to see, especially Bart. You know, Bart, like I said before, he was my first person who I met who was like in the industry and is big in the industry. Is like, hey, there's more to this than just this little 30 acres or whatever we're on. Open up the door a little bit. He was the first like, oh my God, you can make a career out of this stuff. You can do it. And that was kind of neat to see. I also re-talked to him. It's been a minute. Like it's been. Maybe 5 years now.
Yeah, but he's alive and he's well and he's still out here. Where we're just like, yo, and it's good to check up on one another. You know what I mean? Life throws curveballs and this and the other, but it's so good to check up on one another and just uplift them and just know that that they're people being here are for a reason and a purpose. And they are a reason and purpose, and I'm just so excited to have them. So, and you guys are a reason and purpose for watching the show and listening. Look, this is we're at the end, but I want to say thank you to our. First of all, I want to say before I say this, I want to say to everyone that have a great happy Memorial Day weekend. But also, when you do that, remember the ones that have fought for us, the ones that have sacrificed, and the ones that have lost their lives for our freedom. Memorial Day means a lot to me because I have a military family here, and they served, and I'm so honored that they served and they paved the way, so that I could scare people. Really, that's what it is, So I just want to say happy Memorial Day, and let's honor the ones that have came before us. All right, and for that, I want to say this thank you to Bart Butler and Michael Edwards for being on the show again, and to my co-host Gerard for being on the show. Kat, we love you. Can't wait to have you back on the show. Also, I want to thank our viewers for tuning in and watching the show, and I hope you guys had some great takeaways for today. And to our listeners listening to our podcast at home, work, and driving in transit, we appreciate you for your love and support. Please remember to follow us, like, subscribe, and share our social media accounts so that we can continue to engage while building a horror family. Until next time, guys, I just want to say this. Again, have a great Memorial Day, but also when you do that, just stay scary.
Wipe your ass.
Oh, whoa, that's the wrong one.
Wrong button.
After shows.